school choices for Mississippians. Now, I believe in school choice. I think we ought to have the opportunity, much as children do when they come out of high school. Any of these children, when they come out of high school, will be able, if they are proficient at the ACT, will be, and they can afford it, can go to any university in the world. Not just in Mississippi, not just in America, but in the world. They could go to Harvard if they have the grade point average and the ability to do so. We don't say if you live in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, you can only go to Southern Miss. Maybe we should. No. Southern Miss. Then we don't say if you live in Oxford, you can only go to Ole Miss, or in Starkville, only State, or Jackson, only Jackson State. Let us say that there's opportunities. Let us begin with a charter school system that will fit Mississippi's educational challenges. Great debate in charter schools last year in the Mississippi legislature. Will be further debate today, further debate tomorrow, and in the future. And all those voices need to be heard. Let us make sure that as we have a charter school law, we put charter schools where the children need them most. Let's think of where the children need charter schools and put them there. Now, in 2010, 39 states had charter schools. Over 5,000 served more than 1.5 million students. Let us in Mississippi have the opportunity to see if it will work for our students that need it the most. I will work hard for a charter school bill, joining with the Speaker and the Lieutenant Governor and the Chairman. Establish funding for opportunity scholarships. Now, this is going to be another one that we're going to have a lot of people that might not appreciate, but let me finish. First, students attending a school rated D or F with family income levels at 250% of the poverty level, that's about $32,000 a year, may request a scholarship to attend an approved non-public school. There, I said it. Scholarships in non-public schools. Now, here's the important part. Funding for these scholarships will come from corporations and individuals who will receive a tax credit for donating to the fund to provide scholarships for these students. A tax credit scholarship was implemented in Florida in 2001. Florida seems to be doing fairly well. I was with Jeb Bush just a few weeks ago, and he said this was one of the most successful programs that he had implemented in Florida. Why? Because students in failing schools had the opportunity not just to go to another public school, but to a non-public school. It changed the whole dynamic. Now, the Florida legislature, listen to this very carefully. This is the part that sold me. The Florida legislature reports the program saved $38 million for public education in 2007 and 8, and nearly $36 million the following fiscal year that you can put back into the educational system. Now, they've got a lot more students. They spend about $800 more a year on their per student cost, only about $800 more a year than Mississippi does. But to implement these programs, these scholarships, these opportunity scholarships, and save $36 million, Georgia has done it recently and saved $6 million that you put back into the school system. Not hide away somewhere and not spend on something else. You put money back into the school system with these opportunity scholarships. Now, we propose that we would cap the amount of tax credits with $10 million so we can see and qualify the success of these programs. We believe that all non-public schools participating must meet the accountability requirements for assessing opportunity students and publicly report those results. Believe me, there's no idea that I would want to put any child in any public school in a non-public school that was failing or that did not meet the high standards that the Mississippi Department of Education would require. Now, I think we also should establish a statewide open enrollment policy. A student may request an intra-district or inter-district transfer to any other participating public school. Remember, I said if you lived in Hattiesburg, you just don't have to go to Southern. So if you live here, you may say, I want to go to another school district. Now, the Mississippi Department of Education and the districts would have to help us set to certain criteria so we're not just out recruiting the best football players. I know that would never happen. And the school accepting the students would have to agree to have the capacity to do so. Critically important. We could not say that all of a sudden another 1,000 students from other school districts want to come to Northwest Rankin and tell the principal, and you must take them. But if they have the capacity, if they have the compassion and the willingness and the understanding to say, we know those students want to come here, and we have the capacity to do so, we will allow that to happen. Let us open up these school choice opportunities. Why do we keep you so locked in? Do you know, in some school districts, and I'm not being critical, I'm just trying to tell you the truth, we have people who go investigate students to make sure that they're not sneaking across the line. Law enforcement type enforcement to make sure that you're not sneaking into a good school district. Let us open the doors and let everyone enjoy equal opportunities for a great education. Number 5, college and career readiness. When I ran for governor, I said I want to ask 2 things of our public school system and our non-public school system. One, when a child graduates, that they be ready to go to college, or number 2, they be ready to begin their career. When you graduate from high school, you should be prepared either to go on to college or to begin your career. College and career readiness standards. Now this must start with reducing the dropout rate. We said earlier what a very good job Northwest Rankin is doing at that. High school graduation rates in schools lower than 80%. If you have a school that is graduating lower than 80% of the students, you must submit a plan to the Mississippi Department of Education to restructure the high school experience to improve graduation rates. Now, perhaps we should attach an incentive to that, but we cannot continue to have school districts in this state where some 35 to 37% of the children drop out of school between the 9th and 11th grade. That doesn't happen in all school districts, but it happens in far too many. Imagine in today's society, if you drop out of school in the 9th grade, where on earth might you go to get a job? What will your future look like? We must attack this program. Our policies in this new plan have several recommendations. First, allow schools to request waivers from accreditation standards. All of the paperwork, all of the challenges that go with it. Allow schools to say, free us from some of that if we have an innovative pilot program designed to enhance student success. When my children went here, we had a senior project program. I think Northwest Rankin was one of the few that had it. And Gene Massey helped lead that and innovate that. And oh, my children fussed. It wasn't fair. Other schools just almost get off completely when they're seniors. You know, your senior year is supposed to be that time where you get to get in your car and go home for lunch. Watch movies all day. I know the little things that go on. But see, Gene Massey said, we're going to make you develop a product. We're going to make you innovate that product. We're going to make you advertise. We're going to make you compete. It was one of the most challenging times in my children's life and one of their best. As I came here in this room, in this facility, and saw those senior projects, I was amazed at what some of you were doing. Allow for innovation, for good school systems. Jobs for Mississippi graduates. This is part of the Jobs for American Graduates program, and we have it here. Dr. Ramona Sebrin Williams, I don't know if Dr. Williams is here today, but helps run that program. There you are, Dr. Williams, please stand up. Let me tell you what a remarkable job they're doing. 93.1% of the 631 children served in Jobs for Mississippi graduates that participated in that program graduated from high school. These are at-risk students. These were students that were about to drop out, that didn't have a chance, that people said, we just can't save them. Jobs for Mississippi graduates came in and saved 93.1% of them. So we're going to ask the Mississippi Legislature to add another $1 million to the funding for that program. Career and technical education. Each day I meet with economic development prospects, and so many of them say, you know, we want to come here in Mississippi, but we need more welders. We need more electricians. We need more automotive technicians. Where will they come from? Gene Massey again came to my office not long ago and showed me a great program for education, career, and technical achievement that would have a nationally certified program that would allow students in high school to receive a national certification for those important skills that we need in the future. Now, as I talked about that, a gentleman came up to me one day and said, do you just want all children to be welders and plumbers? Of course not. But I said, have you hired a plumber lately? They make pretty good money. Try to call an electrician and get him to come to your home for business. Any of you weld for a living? You can do pretty good as a welder. I can assure you, Ingalls Shipbuilding just now would hire you today, at a salary that would amaze you, that would be much more than many of the students now that have degrees from universities are able to make. One of the highest unemployed groups that we have now are children that have graduated from universities and some other than technical courses that cannot find a job. So let us move forward with this great program. Again, asking the Mississippi Legislature to add a mere $250,000 to help continue to expand that. And finally, technology. How many of our children learn from the internet? All of them. All of you. That iPhone that you may not have with you today, I hope you don't. But at their fingertips is all the world's knowledge, all the world's information. I shouldn't say knowledge. All the world's information gained from the knowledge of generations, of thousands of years, are at their fingertips. Now, when I taught at Mississippi College, and I love Mississippi College, but we advanced from chalkboards to whiteboards. Oh my goodness, what a leap in technology. But you had to buy your own marker. I had to bring my own marker to class. Now, we must continue to move into the electronic education revolution. Our nation is moving towards electronic textbooks and interactive digital learning. Mississippi should not lag behind. The great schools of the future will have e-books. They will have technology available in every form, in every classroom, and in the hand of every student. Currently, Boonville and Hattiesburg school districts have crafted an enhanced learning model that is designed to replace traditional hard-bound textbooks with interactive electronic contents on digital devices. We're finally catching up with y'all. I believe most children now, by the time they're 13 or 14, get that first iPhone. Now, we need to catch up with that electronic revolution. Now, this will cost a pilot program of $3 million. $3 million will begin to show us the success that we would have. I believe in the future with the cost of bound textbooks that we can save money. Not only the interactive opportunities for children on the broadband world to learn so much more at home or after school or in a specially designed class, that we must move forward into the electronic age. Now, other districts have done so with success, and I hope that I will get emails from them that will say, let me tell you what we've done in our district. I remember when I was state auditor almost a decade ago, we were talking about e-books then, and I held one up at a press conference and said, this is the learning opportunity of the future. We're finally going to get there. So let this discussion begin. I have laid out a plan for the future. I do not believe that anyone that opposes or has ideas that might change this plan will be my adversary. We welcome diverse ideas. We look forward to new, innovative ideas. But what we must do is understand that progress must occur within every classroom in the state of Mississippi. And we just can't say, well, let's just go back and keep doing what we've always done. You heard the numbers. It's not working. Not at the level that it must. Last year, I told everyone in the legislature it would be the year for economic development, and I think we had the most successful economic development legislative session in Mississippi's history. This year is the year of education. It is the year of the student. It is the year for all of us to come and work together, knowing that the great debates result in a better program, in a better bill, in a better school, a better classroom, and a better student. I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity today. Students, this is the way it works. Someone gets an idea. You look at other references. You see what other states are doing. You get the best practices. You call in the leadership. You ask them to draft a bill and to begin to talk to their other members of the Mississippi legislature, to reach out to the interest groups that have some influence and that have some impact on it. You begin the process of working it through the subcommittee and into the committee and then onto the House floor and then to the Senate and then to the governor's desk. And so when I have these bills on my desk, students, what I'd like to do is invite you to come to the Capitol so you can watch me sign them. No pressure. So that you might be able to learn and realize how we all work together to give you a better opportunity for the future. At the end of all of this discussion, that is simply what it's about. Now, I could have left this issue alone. I could have said, oh, well, let's just have charter schools and let's see if we can't level fund MAP. This plan adds about $26 million to the education budget. I could have left it alone. I won't get paid any more for fighting this battle. In fact, I'll probably have people write terrible things about me. But to be able to accomplish things, students, you must be willing to take that chance. You must be willing to step forward and say, here are the ideas. Challenge us if you can. Come with us if you will. But let us move forward together. Let us frame Mississippi's future, because we all know education works. Thank you so much for being here today. God bless you.